but let's just define what these symbols are prophetically. So what does a
All
beast
right.
represent in Bible prophecy? And
A
the
beast.
sea, horns, crowns, the earth.
Okay.
Let's define it.
A beast represents a kingdom. In Daniel chapter 7, Daniel sees 4 beasts. In verse 4, he sees a lion. Verse 5, a bear. 6, a leopard. 7 and 8, this nondescript beast. In verse 17, these beasts, which are 4 kings which shall arise out of the earth. And so a king represents the very kingdom of the very nation. So beasts are kings or kingdoms. Verse 23 of Daniel 7, thus he said, the 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon earth, and shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. Now, beasts therefore represent kingdoms. Horns represent kingdoms as well. A horn can represent the head of that kingdom or the kingdom itself, as in the case of Alexander. He was the notable horn in Daniel 8, which was broken into 2. Of course, of Daniel 7, Greece is a leopard with 4 heads, meaning the same thing. And so a beast is a kingdom, a horn is a kingdom, or a person representing that kingdom.
Amen.
A throne simply represents rulership. A throne represents rulership. And I think the list also has water or the sea. The sea represents multitudes of people. Revelation 17, verse 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou seest where the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And so seas represent multitudes of people. The earth now, you've got to be careful with the earth. The earth can represent a barren place, very sparsely populated, or the earth can simply be the earth itself. Because in Revelation 12, verse 12, the Bible says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. In that verse, it literally means the earth, which is the so-called property of the devil, because he overthrew Adam. But of course, through his resurrection and sacrifice, Christ legally bought it back. And so the earth in Revelation 12:12 literally means the earth. But when we read Revelation 13, verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, it means a place with very few people living, in opposition to the seas, which represent teeming populations.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Elder Skeete. Thank you so much for that. There's one other, well, you spoke about the throne, but what about crowns? What do crowns represent? Because we see that the beast of Revelation.
Rulership.
Yes.
Crowns represent rulership. You know, we shall reign with Christ. Revelation 5, verse 9. Revelation 22, verse 5. We shall reign with Christ. Revelation 20 also tells us we shall reign with Christ. Of course, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8, we shall receive a crown from Jesus Christ. A crown is put on the head of a ruler. We shall reign with Christ. Crowns represent rulership.
Rulership. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Elder Skeete. So, friends, we have...
And also kingly power. Kingly power. Rulership, kingly power. All right, go ahead.
Beautiful. Rulership, kingly power. So we've defined some symbols where the beast represents a kingdom, where horns represent kings, sea represents multitudes of people. The earth can be the literal earth, which Christ has reclaimed from the enemy, but it can also represent a place sparsely populated, which is in contrast to the sea. And we have also defined that crowns represent rulership and kingly power. Amen. We've also defined the satanic trinity and their purpose, which is to destroy God's people, where the dragon is the devil, where the leopard-like beast is the papacy, and the false prophet represents the United States of America. And I know we kind of breeze through that, but friends, I encourage you to study on your own how we are able to identify the United States of America with the beast of Revelation 13:11, the papacy with the leopard-like beast, the dragon. Well, the Bible plainly says it in Revelation 12, verse 9. But hopefully we'll also, if God permits, do a session really breaking down the historical aspect to this prophecy.
Now, you just said the Bible clearly identifies the devil, because that is where the problem really lies. The others are merely agents of the devil. And so the devil is unmasked clearly and plainly. Revelation 12:9, the dragon is a serpent. Revelation 20, verse 2, he is plainly exposed because he is the problem. He is the power behind the beast of Revelation 13:1-10. And the beast of Revelation 13:11-18. And so he is identified, and then we now have to use our minds to figure out who the other two are. And with just a small effort guided by the Spirit, we come to the conclusions, of course. We're talking about the Roman system and United States, but the devil is clearly identified because he is the problem.
Amen. Amen. In fact, indeed, the devil is the problem. And note how we are saying the Roman system. That doesn't mean that Roman Catholics are outside of God's way to bring in, or someone that is not quote unquote Seventh-day Adventist has no opportunity to accept the gospel. The issue is with the system of worship that works. Yes, that works by deception to lead God's people astray, even as the serpent in the Garden of Eden worked upon Eve, who prophetically would represent a church, and deceived her. And here we are today.
Let me say this about a system, and it's not very pleasant. When Christ was crucified, the church worked with the system to crucify Christ. In these last days, we have to be careful that God's remnant people do not cooperate with the satanic system by the choices we make and the way we interpret the Bible, or the way we try to reduce the severity of some of our teachings. Severity is a bad word, but weaken the strength of some of our teaching. You know, there's a movement to stop saying the remnant church of God. Don't emphasize the Sabbath. Don't emphasize the 10 Commandments. These kinds of actions have us cooperating with the system. And so as the system found help from the church of God in the days of Christ when he was crucified, because Pilate wanted to let Jesus go, the church said, crucify him. And I say the church because the church was represented by the leaders. In these last days, as we're up against the most powerful instrument the devil has ever used, the beast of Revelation 13:1-10, we must be careful in our preaching, our teaching, the way we function, all our institutions, our churches, our schools, our hospitals, that we do not cooperate with the system represented by the beast of Revelation 13:1-10. We have to be very careful we don't help the devil to do his work.